All right, let's dive in. We're going to talk about one of the coolest, most powerful roles in tech, the full-stack developer. What does that even mean? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain on the apps you use every single day and see what really makes them tick. So, think about this for a second. You're scrolling through Netflix, you tap on a movie, and boom, it just starts playing. Ever stop and wonder, wait, how did that actually happen? All that magic, from the button you press to the movie streaming on your screen, that's the playground of a full-stack developer. And that's what we're exploring today. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what full stack is all about. Then we'll check out the front end, the pretty stuff you see. After that, we'll sneak around to the back end, the brains of the operation. We'll see how code gets onto the internet, peek into the pros toolkit, and wrap it all up with what this means for you. So what exactly is a full stack developer? Honestly, the best way to get it is to imagine you're running a small cafe all by yourself. You're the one who designs the cool, artsy menu for customers. That's your front end. You're also the chef in the back, cooking up all the delicious food. That's the back end. You're even managing all the supplies and ingredients. That's your database. And of course, you're making sure your cafe shows up online so people can find you. That's deployment. A full stack dev, they're the person who runs the whole shebang. All right, first stop on our tour, the front end. This is that user-facing magic, the digital storefront. It's everything you actually see and touch inside an app. The front end really boils down to three key ingredients. Let's think about it like building your dream bedroom. First, you need the structure, right? The walls, the bed, the windows. That's HTML. It's the skeleton. Then, you want to make it look awesome. The paint color, the cool curtains, the vibe of the lighting. That's CSS. It's all about the style. But what about the cool stuff, the interactive bits? That's JavaScript. It's like having lights that turn on when you clap. It's the spark that makes the room come alive. Now this leads to two super important ideas, UI and UX. They sound similar, but they're really different. Let's go back to our coffee shop. The UI, or user interface, is the look of the place. The nice decor, the easy-to-read menu board. But the UX, the user experience, is the feel. How smooth was your order? Did you get your coffee quickly? Was it a hassle? You see, you can have the most beautiful coffee shop in the world, but if the experience stinks, people just won't come back. Great apps need both.
Okay, let's leave the storefront and head into the back. We're talking about the back ends now. This is the kitchen, the stockroom. It's where all the real work gets done, away from the customer's eyes.
So who's running this kitchen? Well, the back end is basically your head chef. When you click something on a website, see the login button. You're placing an order. That's a request. The back end takes that order, goes to the server to cook it up. Checks your password, grabs your info, and then sends the perfectly prepared dish, your data, right back to you. But wait a minute, how does the dining room even talk to the kitchen? That's where APIs come in. API stands for Application Programming Interface, but just think of them as waiters. They take your order, the request, from the front end, run it back to the kitchen, the back end, and then bring your food, the response, back to your table. They're the essential link that connects everything. And all this information, where does the chef get the ingredients? From the pantry, right? In our world, that's the database. And you've basically got two choices. First, there are SQL databases. Think of these as a perfectly organized recipe binder. Everything has its place, it's structured, and it's super reliable. Perfect for stuff like bank transactions. Then, you've got NoSQL databases. These are more like a creative scrapbook. They're way more flexible, which is great for things that change a lot, like social media posts or chat messages. Okay, so our digital business is really taking shape. We've got the storefront, we've got the kitchen, but how do we actually open the doors to the public? How does code on a laptop become a real live app that anyone in the world can use? These days, the answer is almost always cloud computing. See, back in the day, you'd have to buy your own physical servers, which is kind of like building a whole house from scratch. Super expensive and a ton of work. Now, with the cloud, think AWS or Google Cloud, it's like renting a fully furnished apartment. You just move in, pay for what you use, and you don't have to worry about the plumbing. It's way more flexible and so much more efficient. But what about updates? You're constantly improving your app, right? How do you get those changes out to users without breaking everything? That's where this cool thing called CI/CD comes in. It stands for Continuous Integration and Deployment. Just imagine your cafe has an automated cake-making machine. Every time you have a new idea, it bakes, decorates, and delivers a perfect cake to the display case, automatically. That's CI/CD for code. It makes updates fast, reliable, and way less scary. Now, developers don't just grab random tools off a shelf to build this stuff. They use something called a tech stack.
You can think of it as a prepackaged dream team of technologies that are all proven to work really well together. You've probably heard of some of them like Mern, Mean, or LAMP. Each one is a full set of tools to build an entire app from start to finish.
All right, we've got the big picture. Now let's zoom in and open up the Pro Developers Toolkit. These are the essential gadgets that keep the whole digital business running smoothly day to day.
First thing in the toolkit, testing. Because nothing is worse than shipping a broken app. Let's imagine you're picking out an outfit for a party. First, you do a unit test. You check each piece by itself. Is this shirt clean? Do these pants fit? Then you do an integration test. You try the whole outfit on together to see if it actually works. And finally, the end-to-end test. You wear the outfit out to the party to see how it holds up in the real world. You gotta do all three. Next up is something that is absolutely non-negotiable: security. And that boils down to two big words: authentication and authorization. Let's say you're going to a big concert. Authentication is when they check your ticket at the gate. It proves you are who you say you are and that you belong there. But authorization is what your ticket lets you do. Can you just be in the general audience, or do you have an all-access pass to go backstage? See the difference?
Okay, now for a real game changer, containers, especially from a tool called Docker. The easiest way to get this is to think about packing for a trip. You pack a bag with everything you need: your clothes, your toothbrush, your phone charger. A container is just like that, but for an app. It bundles up the code and everything it needs to run, all in one neat package. That way, it'll run the same no matter where you put it.
So, containers are great, but what happens when your app gets huge and you have hundreds or even thousands of these suitcases to manage? That's where Kubernetes enters the chat. If containers are the suitcases, Kubernetes is your master destination wedding planner. It's in charge of making sure every single suitcase gets to the right place at the right time and that everything for the big event runs perfectly. It's the ultimate organizer.
So how do you write code without going crazy, especially when you're on a team? The answer is Git and GitHub. Think of Git as your own personal fitness journal. It keeps a perfect record of every single workout, or in this case, every code change you've ever made. Then, GitHub is like the shared gym where you and your workout buddies can all share your journals, see each other's progress, and collaborate on a training plan without stepping on each other's toes.
And here's a super important quick tip on security. You would never, ever tape your house key to your front door, right? Of course not. You'd keep it somewhere safe. Well, it's the same exact thing with code. Developers have secret API keys and passwords, and they use special safe places like configuration files to keep them hidden away from the main code where anyone could find them.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. From the front-end storefront to the back-end kitchen and all the incredible tools that make it happen. So let's zoom out one last time. What does this all mean for you and your potential journey? Being a full-stack developer means you're not just a cog in the machine, you're the architect and the builder. You get to understand the whole picture, from the customer's first click all the way down to the data in the stockroom. It means you have the superpower to build entire working apps all on your own. And let me tell you, that makes you one of the most versatile and valuable people in the entire tech industry.
So there you have it. You've officially seen the blueprint for how modern applications are built, piece by piece. Now the only real question left is, what are you going to build first? Thanks so much for hanging out with me and diving into the world of full-stack development.